One of the things about knitting is that there are a gazillion different ways that you could start your project. Today, I'm going to be trying a cast-on method that's entirely new to me. It's the provisional cast-on, and I'm really excited to learn this one because it's used a lot because it keeps the stitches that you cast on with live, so you can remove the first row and use the row of stitches after that provisional row as live stitches. So in this case, the top I'm starting today has a folded hem at the bottom, so that's why we're starting with a provisional cast-on. I'm feeling a little intimidated, but every time I have been intimidated by a new knitting skill, it has always turned out to be easier than I thought it was, and I've always felt super accomplished after learning it. So let's get into it. Today, I'm going to be casting on the Nina top from La Poule. I'm really excited about this one. This is kind of spontaneous and random for me. This was not part of my summer knitting plans, but I find myself in a situation where this pattern's been on my Ravelry favorites page for months now, so no time like the present. Yesterday I did my swatch and I more or less hit gauge. I did not block this swatch because according to the estimated yarn needed for this project, I'm going to be cutting it kind of close. I'm using some leftover yarn from my stash for this. I bought a bunch of skeins of Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock Light yarn. This is a fingering weight 100% wool yarn. These skeins run at 50 grams each. I picked these up at Knitty City on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and they ran at $10 a skein at 50 grams a skein. For my size, I should need approximately 70 grams of yarn. Yes, I could weigh these. No, I'm not going to do that. But I think I should be fine, but I just don't want to end up playing yarn chicken, so I kept my swatch attached to the balls of yarn because I'm going to frog this and use this yarn to start my project. I don't think I have much else to say. Super excited about this color combo. This is going to be like a nice copper red and off-white stripe pattern, and I'm just excited to have a pretty classic striped top in my collection. Okay, so it's Saturday, July 27th. I do not have a goal end date for this top. In fact, I'm in absolutely no rush to finish this. I'm gonna take my time, I'm gonna enjoy this. This is a fingering weight project on really small needles. I'm actually not using the recommended needle size. I knit really loose, so this project calls for 3mm needles, and I'm using 2.75mm needles. I'm going to watch some videos on how to do a provisional cast on. I'm gonna practice it. My hope is that I can do this provisional cast on and then go sit in the park with this project. It's a really nice day outside today. This afternoon, I would love to just get some nice work done on this top, see how fast it's gonna go. So yeah, let's stop talking about it. Let's cast it on. I'm actually very clearly now procrastinating casting this on. So I'm gonna watch some videos and I'll check back in with you guys if/when I successfully achieve this cast on method. So let's get into it. Okay, it's Tuesday, July 30th. I know I haven't really filmed much, but that's because there's not much to show with this. It is truly just a striped stockinette tube. But I did want to give you guys a little bit of an update on my progress. I finished the picot trim with the first stripe, and then I'm now halfway through my second stripe of the red. I think this is so cute. It's a little tricky because the hem keeps folding up, but like, look how cute that is. Are you kidding? So I'm super excited. Concerns right now, it seems like it's gonna be big, maybe? I don't know. I thought that this was supposed to have a lot of negative ease, but it seems like it's gonna like fit me. I don't know. I don't know what on earth happened, and this is going to continue to be a problem as I knit this up, but at some point along the way, my trim got messed up. At some point I had more stitches than I needed, or one less stitch, I don't remember, but I needed to have an even number of stitches and I had an odd number at one point. And I fudged it somehow. I either combined or I made a stitch, I don't remember. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have just frogged back, but whatever, can't do that now. So the result is that there's just like this weird hiccup in the picot trim, which every time I look at it from further away, it's not that noticeable, but it is super noticeable when I'm working on it. So it's driving me kind of crazy. So I'm gonna have to see what I can do to fudge that. I think what I might do is just crochet and add like a little bloop, a little peak at the bottom of it. I haven't really decided. I think it's gonna be on the side, so I don't even think you would like really notice it anyway. I'm really loving it so far. I'm also just really motivated to get to the front portion of the top because then I think it's gonna go really quickly. So I know that this is going to be the most time-consuming part. Yeah, that's kind of like my whole update. There hasn't been much to see so far because there's just not that much to see, and this is driving me crazy. So TBD on what I do about that, but I'll check back in with you guys when I have something to show you. Okay, sorry about the fan behind me. I know it's loud. I wanted to do a quick update for you guys because I haven't done one in a second. Like I was saying, there's not much to update you guys on throughout working on this because it's just been stockinette in the round. But today I actually separated to start working on the front of the top, which has worked flat, and I wanted to make sure I checked in now because I think I'm gonna finish this really soon. Once you get to the front, it is so quick because there's not that many stitches around this whole thing anyway, so I'm breezing through it, which is amazing. I'm on a work trip right now, and this is kind of my mission, is to finish this before the start of my next work week. So that's what's going on with that. I'm making a ton of progress, and I'm almost done with the front already, and I just started it this afternoon. I have to give a quick story time. Originally, I was knitting this top on my Chiagu, I don't know, interchangeable needles, and they were bamboo. And earlier today, one of the knitting needles I was using snapped in half, which was really catastrophic for a second, but I ended up being able to pick up the same size but in metal, and I just have to say, holy cow, I'm never using anything other than metal knitting needles ever again. Like, I don't know why anyone uses anything different. These are amazing. It's also why it's moving so quickly. And also, these won't break. I actually can't believe that happened. This brand's knitting needles are really expensive, and the fact that they broke, like, truly shocked me. It wasn't because of my my tension or anything. I mean, they fully got sat on, so like sure, I guess it's fine that they broke, but I still was like, dang, for how expensive they are, I would rather just invest in the more expensive metal option that's not gonna break. So that's the little story time trauma of the day, and that's why I'm working this on different needles, in case you noticed. I'm gonna film what I can of working on this week, but because I'm gonna be at work, I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to get that much footage. But just know we're zooming now, so see you when I see ya. I finished doing the body panel and all of that. I just now need to like weave in the ends, block it, and I need to do the I-cord that ties from the front to the back. My like setup situation is less than ideal right now because I'm not home, and I know this lighting's like scary. Also, ignore the bed. Oh my god, okay. I feel like the top is coming up like right at my neck. And if I move it over where it's truly at the side, the like sides are completely uneven with each other. Like the side seams aren't even on both sides. So I want to just go ahead and make the strap and see if that changes once I have it like all done and sewn and everything. But right now I'm kind of like not sure. Everything else about it is great. I mean, I need to block it in order for the edge to look right and everything. I think that this is going to be a big top where like blocking makes a world of difference. The yarn's a little bit itchy, but I knew that was going to be the case. I have so much left over. I still have to make the I-cord, but look, I thought that I was going to use both of these up. I guess I recommend Woolstock Light from Blue Sky Fibers if you want good fingering weight value wool. That's basically it. I think I'm going to do these finishing details and just check in with you guys once I'm home. The shirt is officially done. I cast this on July 26th, and today it is August 15th. I finished this shirt last night and then blocked it and everything, wove in all the ends, and today is my first day wearing it out and about. I love this top, and I don't have too much to say about it, but there are just a few things about the knitting process, the pattern, and mistakes that I made that I want to talk about while we wrap this up. So let's go through all of that. The yarn that I used was Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock Light. It's a fingering weight wool yarn. And the white color is called Highland Fleece, and the red color is called Rusted Roof. This yarn is super affordable, which is what drew me to it initially. I needed a bunch of contrasting colors for this other sweater that I was working on, so I just wanted something that fit the gauge and was affordable. And this yarn, they lasted me a pretty long time. So I used those skeins for both the other sweater that I used them on and this, and I still have a lot left over of each color, which is both great in terms of speaking to the value of the yarn, but is kind of a bummer just in terms of how much of the yarn I have left. I don't really know what to do with it now. So yeah, I think that this yarn was fine for this project. I love the colors together. It's just a very straightforward wool, so it is kind of itchy, but that's not really a problem because I have to wear something under this anyway because it's kind of thin. I think this would be the perfect pattern if you do have just some random yarns laying around in your stash that are a fingering weight and you don't know what else to do them with. The pattern suggests that you do 10 row repeats for each stripe of color, but if you look on Ravelry, there's a lot of projects where people did various stripe patterns, and it looks like some just did scrappy versions of this top, and I think that's something that I would be interested in doing next. I love this pattern. There were only two things that I didn't quite understand as I was making it that I feel like if I made it a second time, I would have a better handle on. The first one being the folded hems. So there's two folded well, I guess there's actually three folded hems on this top. So there's this folded hem right here that holds the I-cord in place at the top of the shirt. I don't know what was going on with my brain. I brought this on a work trip, and by the end of the day, when I was working on this top, I just wouldn't have any brain capacity left whatsoever. And for whatever reason, I just like couldn't comprehend the folded hem up here. So I ended up just binding it off and then sewing it together. By the time I got to the back folded hem, I like remembered how to do it. I don't know why anything with 3 needles tutorials is just one of those things, like I can watch however many video tutorials I want and I can read as many instructions, but it's like I just sometimes can either wrap my brain around how to do it or I just can't. I don't know why. So that's not really a fault of the pattern. That was just like something that I was stumbling over. And then the other thing that was in this pattern that I had trouble with was the length of the I cord. I don't quite understand, just from the way it's written in the pattern, what length the I cord is supposed to be. I followed what it said in the pattern, and the armpit that's here was like up here on me, and it was super tight and super small. So I ended up adding a lot of length to my strap, and I just kind of kept trying it on at various points. So I don't know what final length I ended up doing, but it was much longer than what the pattern called for. So I don't know if I misunderstood something that it was saying there, but when I was doing the pattern as written for the I cord length, it didn't fit me right at all. Just to catch the two mistakes that I have in this top, besides this folded hem being done differently than as written, I have a little hiccup in the picot hem pattern at the bottom of the shirt. This was my first time doing any lace knitting whatsoever, so I don't really mind that. It's not really that noticeable. It's on a side seam anyway, but for the longest time while I was knitting it, I was staring straight at it and I thought it was going to drive me crazy, but once the top is on, you can't really see it. And then the other mistake is just in that when I made the I cord according to the original written pattern length, I cut my yarn and fastened it off, so then when I added to it, I had to rejoin the yarn to continue knitting it up, and in doing so, there's like a little bump at one point along the I cord. I don't think anyone else is going to notice but me, but it is in there. I like pointing out the mistakes when I finish something because I'm noticing that as I go, each finished object that I knit up is getting better and better, so it's kind of fun to keep track of the mistakes that I made and see if I repeat them or if once I do them, I don't do them again. I find it kind of interesting. But yeah, I thought this pattern was awesome. I would 100% make this again, actually. Like I was saying, I have a ton of fingering weight yarn in my stash. This was super quick to work up. And it's just a really nice staple crop top. So I could definitely see myself making this again. I think next time I do though, I won't do a wool. I'll probably do a cotton or something like that. This was my first time using a pattern by LaPoule, and I've been eyeing a lot of their designs for a while, so it was really nice to try one out. I would definitely purchase a pattern from them again. I really liked the instructions, the way that things were written, and I just liked the format of the pattern itself. Like I said, this top took me just under a month, but you could definitely knit it way quicker than that. I had started this top and then worked on a ton of other projects and completely put it to the side for a while, for like a week and a half at some point. But this could definitely be like a 2-week knitting project if you really set your mind to it. So maybe by the time I post this video, you guys could even make this as your final summer knit. But yeah, that's really all. I think this top is so cute. I love that it's just a great basic. I really do like knitting basic pieces for my wardrobe that I feel like I'm going to get a lot of wear out of. I will leave the link to the pattern on Ravelry below, so you guys can check it out there and you can see all of LaPoule's other designs. They really have some great stuff. So I know that there's a few things I have my eye on, so I can't wait to see what I knit from them next. While you guys are on Ravelry, if you want to follow me over there, my username is thedroppedstitchh, all one word with an extra H at the end. If you want to keep up with my projects on a more day-to-day basis, you can follow me on Instagram at _thedroppedstitchh, all one word. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and if you like this video, be sure to like it down below and leave a comment letting me know if you're still working on your summer knits or if you're already casting on your fall sweaters. And that's going to be all from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until I see you in the next one, be sure to drink some water, stretch your wrists, and please purl responsibly. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!